Hello everyone, welcome to another game in the Demolition Strat-O-Matic 2015 League. We're still, of course, in Series 2. Previous video was Matchup 2, Philadelphia and Seattle. Now we're at Matchup 3, Cincinnati at Houston. So that's the matchup we have for today's game. The Reds and the Astros. And we'll look at our starting lineups as well as the players who were in need of rest. And as soon as I get everything in place, looks like everything fits there. Get our dice tray going. Sure everything is going to fit in place. I do believe we're okay now. As long as you see Hank Conger, he's the number 9 hitter in the Astro lineup. Everything fits at that point. Pitching for today's game. The Houston Astros will send right-hander Scott Feldman. He was 5-5 with a 3.90 ERA, and we are on our number 4 starters for each team. Lorenzen, number 4 starter for the Reds, was 4-9 with a 5.40 ERA in 21 starts. And since there was an off day, each team has already had at least one off day. Well, not at least, but each team had one off day so far. We will skip the number 5 starters, so the next game 2 of each of these series will go back to the number 1 starters for each team. Injury checks for pitchers. Lorenzen, a 6.12 will be his injury check. Feldman, a 6.10 will be his injury check. Starting lineups for the Reds, they had to rest Schumacher and Suarez. So their lineup is Phillips, Votto, Frazier, Bruce, Bird, Bosch, who is the new addition to the roster with Hamilton going on the injured list. So he took his spot. He is the DH. Cozart at short, Barnhart catching, and Jason Bourgeois in center field. For the Astros, they had to rest Marisnik and their catcher Castro. So they will have Altuve, Springer, Rasmus, Gaddis, Tucker, Carter, Valbuena, Lowry, and Conger. They will be the starting line for the Astros. All right. Let's get everything in ready to go. Scott Feldman will be facing Brandon Phillips to lead off for the Reds. Reds are 1-2. Astros are 2-1. After 3 games for each team, no team was 3-0 and no team was 0-3. So every team was either 2-1 or 1-2 after those 3 games. And after the first 2 games of Series 2, we had the Mets drop to Boston. So Boston now is 3-1. And Seattle is 2-2. Philadelphia is 1-3. And the Mets are 2-2. So best record right now is 3-1 Boston. All right, so we're ready to go here. Cincinnati against Houston. Brandon Phillips leading things off against the right-hander Scott Feldman. And we're ready to go here from Houston. Of course, no ballpark effects, but we're still in Houston. And this is Series 2, Matchup 3, Game 1, game number 18 of 270, played on April 17th, 2015. Feldman, 3-8 to Phillips, and that's a ground ball to short. And Mr. Lowry makes the play, no problem, 1 away. Brings up Joey Votto, first baseman. 3-5 for Votto. 1-9 is a single. Anything else, he will ground it to the first baseman, Carter. That's a 1, so it's going to sneak through for a base hit for Joey Votto. He's a B stealer. He will be held, but they're not going to try it. Defensively, Hank Conger, the backup catcher, is a +4 arm, though, so now I may reconsider that. Let's see. Votto is a B stealer, starts as a 13, being held makes him a 10, but the +4 from Conger makes it a 14. So you know what? They're going to try to see if they can get something going in the running game against Conger, who's a +4 arm. So it's a 1-14. And he's still thrown out. So they try Conger, and it just doesn't work for him. Maybe I should have just held him where he was, but they were trying it against Conger, but Conger says not so fast. Here's Todd Frazier, the Todd father. 4-9, and that's a fly to right to end the inning. So it looked promising for Cincinnati, quickly becomes null and void. and they get nothing like it. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Cincinnati nothing. The Astros coming to bat. Michael Lorenzen again, 4-9, 5.40 ERA and 21 starts, so he should get 7 starts in the replay, in theory, because it's 1/3. And he'll be facing Jose Altuve, George Springer, and Colby Rasmus. Start at the bottom of the first. 2-8, and that's a ground ball right back to Lorenzen. Easy play. 1 down, and that'll send up George Springer, right fielder. And that's a 6-11. Lorenzen with an error or injury rating rather, is a 6-12, so he misses that. 6-11 instead is a ground ball to short, and there's 2 away. So narrowly missing an error. Keep saying error. Narrowly missing an injury check. 2 up and 2 down though for Colby Rasmus. 4-11, and that is a fly ball left field X. Left fielder is Bird. And Bird, as a left fielder, is a 3. 3 and a 12 is most likely going to an error check for an outfielder. And it is. And Bird's error rating is a 0. So he can't make an error, so he will make the catch. Whatever he gets to, he catches, and that's going to be the end of the inning. So nothing doing there for the Stros. We go to the second, no score. And leading off for Cincinnati will be Jay Bruce, right fielder. 2-8 for Bruce. A lot of good stuff in I'm looking up here, I'm sorry. 2-8, it is good stuff. 1-16 is a double, 17-20 is a single. So it's a leadoff double for Jay Bruce. So the Brewski gets a leadoff double. And now here's Marlon Byrd, who made that nice catch to end the last inning. Bruce, as a runner, runs at a 13. He will be held at second base. 3-3 for Bird. Oh, luckily he just missed the injury check. That's a ground ball to third. And with that being an A, runner's not going anywhere. 1 down. Here's Brennan Bosch. This is his first game since replacing the injured Hamilton. He had 89 at-bats. He was a 146 hitter with 1 home run. Not very good defensively either, which is why he is DHing. Bourgeois is a better outfielder. He can play center, but not very well. So here's Bosch. 5-8. Ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Altuve. And Altuve checks in as a 2. 2 and a 9, I think, is a good play. Nope, it's actually an error check. How about that? We're going to an error check for Altuve. He's an E5 as a second baseman. Oh, that's a 12 though. That could be bad news. E5 and a 12. Actually, it's a ground ball A. He got a break. It is a ground ball A. 4-3 ground out. But in advanced, you don't move over to third base. You stay there. It was not a C. So in super advanced, with the ball to the right side, the run on second would go to third. But this is advanced, so they're going to have to hold that runner at second base. Like I said, in real baseball, he would have gotten over, but as Tenacious Earl said one time, this is not real baseball, this is Strat-O-Matic. So we're following the rules. Here's Cozart. 4-11. Ground ball first base X. That's Carter. Carter as a first baseman. Not known for his glove, he's a 4. 4 and a 10 is most likely an error check, and it is. And his error rating is an E13. E13 and an 8 for a first baseman. E13 and an 8 is a ground ball A. So he is able to make the play. Since it's off the X chart, we will go ahead and call it a 3-1 to end the inning. So the leadoff double by Bruce amounts to nothing. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score. And Lorenzen, and I do kind of miss not playing the super advanced, but I'm getting the games done a little bit quicker this way, and I've been playing super advanced all the time, so I wanted a different experience. So that's what I'm doing. Here is Gaddis, the DH. 4-5 against Lorenzen. 1's a single. Anything else, he grounds it to Mr. Votto. And that's exactly what it is, and he'll take it to the bag himself. 1 down. Brings up Preston Tucker, the left fielder. Lefty hitter. 6'10", again 6'12" is the injury check. 6'10" is okay, and that's simply a fly to right. So 2 down, and that's going to send up Chris Carter. 5-7, and that's a bad news for Lorenzen. 1-13 is a double. 14-20 will be a single. And that's a 2-out single for Chris Carter. He will not be held as an E stealer. And it brings up third baseman Luis Valbuena. 6-8, and that's more trouble. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a double. That's a double. Now the question is, can Carter score? There were 2 outs and he was not being held. So that's going to add 3 to his run rating. He is an 11. It turns him to a 14. 2 for there being 2 outs and 1 for not being held. So that's a 1-14. And they're going to send him. Oh, and they checked the outfielder arm. That went to center field, I assume. Yeah, it's assumed to go to center field when it's not mentioned. So let's see, where was that result? That was over here, right? So the double assumed to go to center, which means that's Bourgeois, and his arm is a 0. So it's going to stay what I had to calculate originally, which is the 1-14. And he's thrown out the plate. 19 there, Bourgeois got him. So we're going to call that 8-6-2 as Cozart made the relay. And it keeps the Astros off the board. So they sent the slow-moving Carter, and it did not pay off as Bourgeois came through with a nice throw. And of course, Cozart with a laser for the relay. All right, so top of the third we go, still no score. And Tucker Barnhart gets his first start as a catcher. They've used Mesoraco and Pena. Now we're using Barnhart. His first start. 3-4, and that's a fly to left. So 1 away, and that's going to take us to Mr. Bourgeois, who just made that nice play. Filling in for the injured Billy Hamilton. 5-5, and that's ground ball to third. So Valbuena makes the play, no problem. 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Brandon Phillips. Grounded to short his first trip. 5-6, and that's trouble for Feldman. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else will be a single, but Phillips would be a threat to run. That is an 18, which is a single. So it's a 2-out single for Brandon Phillips, and you know he's looking to run. +4 from Conger. He's an A, which is a 15. -2 from Bell is a 13, but the +4 is a 17. So 1-17, they're going to send him. And he's in there. Stolen base for Brandon Phillips. He gets in scoring position with 2 down. He will have to be held at second for Joey Votto. First base is open if they want to pitch around Votto, but Frazier is next. So they'll go ahead and pitch to him. 4-8, and he struck him out. So Feldman gets the big strikeout there to end the inning. And the Reds leave a runner at second base. Another runner in scoring position left on by the Reds. Bottom of the third, no score. And Jed Lowry, shortstop, will lead it off. He's holding the fort at shortstop until Carlos Correa joins the roster later in the season. 2-5, and that's a strikeout. So Lorenzen gets the K, and that's going to bring up Hank Conger, the folly of all these stolen bases with this +4 arm. 1-6, and all these hits in column 1, he found a strikeout. They like that. So he goes down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks by Lorenzen, and it's back to the top of the order for Altuve. 5-7, trouble. 1-13 is a double. 14-20 is a single. That is a double for Jose Altuve, a 2-out double. He's in scoring position. He, of course, will be held. And George Springer a chance to drive him home, give the first run of the game to the Astros with a base hit. 4-9. He's going to walk, so that's going to put runners at first and second for the dangerous Colby Rasmus. Got some pop in that column, too. But we're off the pitcher card, 4-6, and that's going to be another walk. So that's going to load the bases. So after 2 strikeouts to start the inning, Lorenzen in trouble. A double and 2 walks have loaded the bases for the designated hitter, Evan Gattis. He didn't play much in the Arizona series because there was no DH, but he's back in his familiar role now as a DH. 3-7, and he grounds to second. Phillips makes the play, and the Astros leave him loaded. So another missed opportunity on the base paths, this one by the Astros. 3 innings in the books, no score. We go to the 4th. Feldman has a 6 for his fatigue, and Lorenzen has a 5. So we'll monitor that in the next couple of innings. Todd Frazier, let's move this up a little bit more. Make sure the bottom of the card's not getting cut off. Here's Frazier. 3-8, and that's 1-15 home run. 16-20 is a double. It is long, and it is gone, to coin a phrase from Tenacious Earl. It is long and gone. Todd Frazier, the Todd father, another home run. That's at least 2 he's had in the season. Like I said, it's too early to do season stats just yet, but I know he's got 2. And here's Jay Bruce, the Reds in the lead at 1-0. 4-7, that's a 1-8 single. Anything else, he grounds to the shortstop, Lowry. And Lowry will make the play for out number 1. So 1 gone for Marlon Byrd. 5-4, and that is a fly ball to center field X. Checking the error or the defensive rating of Rasmus, he's a 3. 3 and a 4 as a center fielder, that's probably trouble. 3 and a 4 is a double 2 stars. Double 2 stars for Rasmus. So Bird gets the double. The stars don't matter because nobody was on base, but he gets a 1-out double as Rasmus not able to get to that. And here's Brennan Bosch, the DH. And let's see, are they holding Bird? I think they are. They're going to have to. He's a 12. Nope, they're not going to hold him actually. Bosch, 4-7. That's a 1-8 single. Anything else, he grounds to short. That's a ground ball to short. So Bird had to hold, 2 down. And it's up to Zach Cozart to get the run home. 4-11. Against the righty, that's a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. But the run does come in for Cincinnati on the homer by the Todd father. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Reds. So they are looking to even their record at 2-2 and drop the Astros to 2-2. Although it's very, very early. Still be 50 games left after this for each team. So here's Tucker. 3-4 for Tucker. Fly to left, 1 away. And of course the rosters are probably going to look a little different later in the season as we have injuries and attrition and things like that. Chris Carter. 6-7, that's a strikeout. He's not tired, so that's out number 2. That'll bring up Valbuena. Luis Valbuena. 2-3, and that's a straight out single for Valbuena. He's doubled and singled. Just had a cycle in the last game, my first ever cycle. Now Valbuena's got a single and a double. Not that he's going to hit for a cycle, just made me think of that. Valbuena will not be held as an E-stealer. Here's Lowry. 5-4, switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball center field X. That's Bourgeois. Hamilton, I believe, would be a 1 if he was out there, but Bourgeois is a 3. 3-17, though, I believe is good enough. And it is. It's fly ball A, which is good enough. And the inning's over. So Lorenzen keeps the Astros off the board. We go to the 5th. Still 1-0. Favor of Cincinnati. Feldman back out. Will face Tucker Barnhart to lead off. Barnhart flew to left his first chance. 6-9. Of course, Feldman's a 6'10", so almost got that injury check, but not quite. 6-9 instead is a fly to center. So there's 1 away, and that will send us to Jason Bourgeois. Grounded out to Valbuena at third, his first trip. 3-8, and he's going to fly to left. So 2 flyouts to start the top of the 5th. Order flips over now to Brennan Phillips. Singled and stole second his first or his last time up. 6-3, and that's another single. And he's looking to run again against the beleaguered arm of Conger, who's a +4. So as an ace dealer, he's a 15, -2 for being held is a 13, but the +4 is a 17. 1-17. And he's in there again, stolen base for Brennan Phillips. He's in scoring position where he will be held. And Joey Votto, the batter, not going to walk Votto, they're going to pitch to him. 3-6, and he walks him anyway unintentionally. First and second, but now you got the Todd father coming up with 2 on and 2 outs. Homered his last time up. Todd father looking to go deep again. 4-3 though, and he will. That's an in-home run chance. He does have normal power. That is gone. The Todd father has done it again. That's his 3rd home run of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Reds all of a sudden lead it 4-0 over the Astros. And I know a lot of non-Astro fans are loving that. It is 4-0, and now the Astro bullpen starting to loosen out there. As A.J. Hinch is not going to wait around too much longer. Here's Jay Bruce. 5-7, and that's a single. So after the first 2 are out, all of a sudden all heck breaking loose. Bruce will be held, but he won't go anywhere. As a C stealer, not going to try it. Here's Bird. 1-7 for Bird. That's a grounder to short to end the inning. So 3 runs are in. 3 runs are in. Now the runner was being held, but the ball was hit to short. So with the right-handed hitter up, second base was responsible for covering. So that's why that plus didn't matter in this case. In case you were curious, just a regular ground out. But 4-0 lead, nothing regular about that. And the Astros have their work cut out for them. Here's Hank Conger. 5-7, switch hitter. That's a double, leadoff double for Conger out of the number 9 position. He hits a leadoff double, he will not be held. Here is Altuve. 3-5, that's a single, 2 stars, and the Astros get one of those runs back just that quickly. Cuts the lead to 4-1. Altuve, a double-A stealer, looking to run. As a double-A stealer, he starts out as a 17, -2 for being held as a 15. Catcher arm Barnhart is a 0, so it'll be a 1-15. They're going to try it. And he's in there, stolen base for Altuve. So he's telling Brennan Phillips, I can steal bases too. So he will be held at second base with nobody out. And here's George Springer. 1-3 for Springer, and that's a base hit to left. With nobody out, they're going to hold Altuve at third. Why risk it when there's nobody out? Just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Bird is a -1 arm, so that even adds to the equation. So runners at first and third. Springer, an ace stealer, will be held but will not try to steal. He will be held. Reds playing back for the double play. Here's Rasmus. They need outs. There's nobody out and they need outs. 4-12, and that's bad news potentially. A 1-2 is a home run. Anything else will be a sacrifice fly. At the very least, it's going to be a sac fly. But a 1-2, it's a 3-run homer. We got a tie game. Oh, it was almost a 2. It came that close. It's going to be in a sacrifice fly to right field. That will score Altuve. And it's now a 4-2 game as the Astros have cut the lead in half just that quickly. Now with 1 out, Springer may be looking to run. He's an ace stealer. So it starts out of the 15 being held, drops it by 2, makes him a 13. And again, the catcher arm Barnhart's 0. It would be a 1-13, and you know what? They're going to try it. And he makes it. So another stolen base, this one by Springer. He gets in scoring position for Evan Gattis. Takes a double play out of the equation too. Here's Gattis. 1-9, struck him out. Big strikeout there for Lorenz, and 2 down for Preston Tucker. Oh, I got Michael Tucker from. He was a player from long before this. 1-5, and that's a single. There's a clutch there, but we're not doing clutch because that's super advanced. So that single is good. It's a single to left field, and I believe Springer is going to definitely attempt to score. The left fielder Arm Bird again is a -1, but you get a +2 because there's 2 outs. So in this case, Springer runs at a 15. There are 2 outs, makes him a 17. -1 Arm is a 16. So 1 to 16, he will score. And he does. So another single, or another RBI, I should say, from Tucker. And that's 3 runs in. It's now, they matched the 3 that Cincinnati just gave up, or just scored. So now it's a 4-3 game. And Chris Carter, the batter. Tucker, at first base, will not be held as an East Steeler. 6-8. That's trouble. 1 to triple. Anything else is a double, so this could be a 4th run coming up right here. It's a double. It goes to center. Bourgeois is a 0 arm. So Tucker, not being held, runs as a 12. There are 2 outs, makes it a 14. So 1 to 14, he will try it. And he's in there. And the Astros have now taken the lead, or not taken the lead, they've tied the game, I should say. So the double off the bat of Chris Carter scores Tucker. And that's the, I'm going to leave this blank now because I keep, every time I try to write something in advance, it has to change. So we are tied at 4. And this is the fatigue inning for Lorenzen. So he is fatigued now. And he's going to be coming out of the ball game. So Lorenzen is going to come out as he just seems to have lost it. He's not going to be able to get the win, even though he had a 4-0 lead going into this inning. All he can do is lose it. He can't win it. So Lorenzen's going to go 4 2/3, and he's going to face 25 batters, it appears. And with the lefty coming up, Valbuena, they will go to a lefty out of the pen, and that is Manny Parra. Manny Parra, 1-2, 3.90 ERA is Manny Parra. And for an injury check on Manny Parra, just to make sure there's no injury, just in case we roll something in the 6th column. Manny Parra is a 6, which means he is susceptible to injury. He's a 6-7. So if we roll a 6-7, Manny Parra is susceptible to injury. So right now, he is looking to get Valbuena out. 2-6, and he does. Ground ball back to Parra to end the inning. But 4 runs come in for the Astros, and we tied at 4 as we go to the 6th. And this is the point of weakness inning for Feldman. But I think they're going to pull Feldman anyway. He will get a no decision as he goes 5 innings and ends up facing 23 batters. So let's see who the new pitcher is going to be for the Astros. Coming up for the Reds, Cozart, Bosch, and Barnhart. So you got a mixture of lefties and righties. So it looks like they're going to go to, boy, who do you go to here in this situation? They're going to go to Will Harris. Will Harris, 5-5 and a 1.90 ERA and 2 saves. So Will Harris will be on. And Harris is now the pitcher record along with Parra. And for an injury check on Harris, the role that's going to require that is going to be a 6-12. So again, if we roll a 6-12, then we check for injury. All right, so Brennan Bosch, the DH, will lead off against Will Harris. 4-4 tie, 1-5, struck him out. Reds thought they had it cooking up 4-0, but best laid plans, it didn't last. Here's Zach Cozart. I didn't hear any trash cans in the background though. 3-7 is a pop out to short, just missed an injury check, so it's a pop out to short. 2 down. And that will now send us to Tucker Barnhart. 111 for Barnhart is a single, so it's 2-out single for Barnhart. He will not be held. And Jason Bourgeois step up against Will Harris. 3-7, and that's a ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning. Actually, it's going to go as a fielder's choice on that ground ball B. Not that it matters totally, but that's going to end the inning. And that's going to do it for Harris. He's mostly a one-inning pitcher, so he will be coming out. He's going to go 1 inning and face 4 batters. And now Manny Parra back out. He only faced 1 batter so far. He's going to face Lowry, Conger, and Altuve. Start the 6th. 5-8, switch hitter batting right-handed. Ground ball to third. And the Todd father puts it away easily, throwing over to Votto. 1 down. Here's Hank Conger. He had a big double. Started all the mess last inning. 2-10, and he strikes out this time. No, I'm sorry, look at the left side. 2-10 is a fly to right. I had to make sure I was looking against the lefty. 2-10 is a fly to right, so he does not strike out, but he does make an out. But at least made contact. So 2 down for Altuve. 5-9. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Cozart. Zach Cozart checks in as a 1. 1-11 is going to be an error check though. So Cozart not out of the woods yet. Not out of the woods yet. And his error rating is a 10. 10 and a 10 as a shortstop. 10 and a 10. E10 and a 10. E10 and 10 is a ground ball A, so it's good play. So Cozart makes the play to end the inning, and that's going to be it for Parra. Parra's going to go an inning and a third, and he's going to face 4 batters. He's got all 4 batters out that he faced. So he did an outstanding job for the Reds. Did what they needed to do. We go to the 7th. Still tied at 4. New pitcher for the Astros going to come out. We got Phillips, Votto, Frazier, Bruce, a whole bunch. So let's see, do they go to a lefty or do they go to another right-hander? They are going to go to Pat Neshek, the right-hander. He is going to come on to pitch in the 7th inning. And Neshek checking his possibility for injury. Neshek is a 6'12 also. So roll a 6'12, he will be susceptible to the injury bug. Top of the order for the Reds, it'll be Brandon Phillips to lead it off. 4-5, and that's a fly to right, 1 away. So that's good for the Astros. You want to keep him off the bases. He's already stole 2 bases. Here's Joey Votto. 4-8, and that's a single off of Neshek, and that could be trouble because now you got the Todd father coming up, and the Todd father has hit 2 home runs in a row. Votto will be held, but he won't run. Not going to run and get removed from the bases for Frazier. Neshek 5-7. That's a 1-4 single. Anything else, he lines it to third. And that's a liner. Valbuena snags it for out number 2. So 2 down, and it's up to Jay Bruce to get it done. 3-5 for Bruce. He walks, and that puts runners at first and second with 2 down for Marlon Byrd. Byrd has a chance to put the Reds ahead. Votto will be held at second base because he runs pretty well. He runs as a 12. So they will hold him on. Neshek to Byrd, 5-5. It's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. And that's going to be it for Neshek. He's going to go his 1 inning, facing 5 batters, but giving up no runs. And we're going to the 7th inning stretch here in Houston. Score remains 4-4. And I'll stretch with the 7th inning stretch. I will stretch and figure out who the new pitcher for the Reds is going to be. And it appears as though it's going to be J.J. Hoover. So J.J. Hoover will be the new pitcher for the Reds as we're at the 34-minute mark of the video, which isn't too terribly bad, but not as smooth as some of those games that I first started with the number 1 stars on the mound. So Hoover, but when you get runs and pitching changes, you add time to the length of the game, just the way it goes. Hoover, his injury check would be a 6-12 as well. And he's going to face George Springer to start off here in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 4. 4-6, fly ball to right field, 1 away. Hoover gets the job done. For Rasmus. 6-8, and that's a ground ball to second. Easy play for Phillips. 2 down. For the DH, Evan Gaddis. 0 for 3. 6-3, 1's a double. Anything else he flies to center. And Bourgeois puts it away. He's 0 for 4. And Hoover cleans up here in the 7th. Doesn't give up anything. Gets the 3 batters he faces out. And we go now to the 8th inning, tied at 4. And this is the parade of 1-inning pitchers, it looks like. As we go to the 8th, it'll be Brennan Bosch due up, Cozart and Barnhart. They will bring on the left-hander Joe Thatcher. And the Reds may counter with another DH. In fact, I think they will. Bosch being called back. So Thatcher is the pitcher for the Astros. And I believe this might be his first action of the season. Don't remember off the top of my head, but it might be. Thatcher is a 6-12 as well. And since we got a DH coming up, Bosch, they're going to pull him, will the Reds, and they will bring in somebody else. And then that somebody else will be Eugenio Suarez, a right-hander. So Thatcher, the new pitcher, Suarez, the new DH. So Suarez will get the call. Top of the 8th, tied at 4. 3-10 for Suarez, and he comes in and hits a pinch hit home run. How do you like that? Right off the bat, a pinch hit home run. Boy, talk about pulling the right string. Brian Price did so right there with a pinch hit home run. And now the Reds lead it 5-4. They've reclaimed the lead they lost earlier. And now Thatcher shaking his head, wonder what happened there. Here's Cozart. 3-9 for Cozart. He pops to short. 1 down for Barnhart. Switch hitter when I turn around that right-handed. 4-6, and that's a single. So Thatcher running into all kinds of issues. He may not last long either. Here's Bourgeois. Barnhart will not be held. 3-6, and that's a pop out to short. 2 down, and now is Brandon Phillips, and the righty Phillips might generate a right-hander coming off out of the bullpen for the Astros. So they're going to make the move. Thatcher goes 2/3 of an inning, faces 4 batters, but he will be removed, and they will turn to right-hander Chad Qualls out of the pen. So right-hander Chad Qualls, and Qualls 3-5, 4.38 ERA, and 4 saves for Mr. Qualls. And his injury check is an 11. 6-11 would be an injury check on him. 2 outs, runner at first, Barnhart not being held. And he's got to get Brandon Phillips. 6-7, and that's a strikeout. So he does the job there, but the run scores. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Reds now back out in front 5-4, and they will need a new pitcher. Tucker, Carter, Valbuena, 2 lefties coming up, so they're going to go to a lefty out of the pen, and that is Pedro Villarreal. 1-3, 3.42 ERA, no saves. Of course, they do have Chapman as well, but he's more of a 1-inning save guy instead of a 2-inning save guy. So they're going to hope that Villarreal can bridge the gap to the 9th. And now Tabby's, right when I'm in the middle of doing something, is when she wants to come up here and do stuff. He is a 12 for injury check. Preston Tucker could get called back. They do have Marisnik, who was resting, but he's now eligible to play. So Tucker will be pulled as the left fielder. They could go with Marisnik, or they could go with Marwin Gonzalez. And actually, they're going to go with Marwin Gonzalez. He's got a better average, 279 and 12 home runs. And he'll stay in the game to play left field. So Marwin Gonzalez. And the Astros are going to see if their pinch hitter has the same kind of fortune as the Reds pinch hitter did in Suarez. So Gonzalez against Villarreal. 2-7 against the lefty, struck him out. So that was not golden by A.J. Hinch. He picked the wrong guy, apparently. Here's Chris Carter. 4-8, and that's a fly to center, 2 down. And that will bring up Valbuena, third baseman. Another lefty on lefty matchup. Now, do they let him hit against the lefties? He's got a decent column, too. If they wanted to bring in somebody to hit, they could always use either Jonathan Villar, who's not that great, or Marisnik, who's even worse. They're going to let Valbuena continue. 5-10. That's a ground ball to first to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning turned in by Villarreal, and he sets it up now for Aroldis Chapman in the 9th. And that's going to be the plan for the Reds. They have a lead of 5-4 going into the top of the 9th. And now for the Astros, let's see, Qualls only faced one batter, so he's okay now to pitch the 9th. He'll be facing Votto, Frazier, and Bruce. They could bring in Tony Sipp, their other lefty, but I think they're going to trust Qualls to hold the fort. 4-10, and that's a fly to center, 1 away. Votto is retired. Here's the Todd father with his 2 home runs plus to give him at least 3 for the season I know of. 1-2, though, is a low max. Line out to third. Nobody's on base, so it doesn't really matter. It's just an out. So 2 down. And that brings up Jay Bruce, and Tabby is making noise. I don't know if you heard that or not, but she's certainly making noise. Here's Jay Bruce. I don't know if that's the trash can thing or not from Tabby. Ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Qualls, in the 3rd, got all 4 batters he faced, he retired. So Qualls did his job. So now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Astros, and they're going to have to do it against the Reds closer, Aroldis Chapman. So Chapman comes in 4-4, 1.63 ERA and 33 saves. He is the man of the hour right now for the Reds to try to hold on. His injury check for Chapman is again a 6.12. So again, it's a 12 there. Chapman. And we finally get a close game after many, many blowouts. We finally get a close game. Now, we have Lowry, Conger, and Altuve, the scheduled hitters. Lowry's going to be called back, and they're going to lead off with Jonathan Villar, who's a better hitter at 284. And if it does go extra innings, he can come in and play short. So Villar is going to lead off and bat for Lowry against Chapman. 1-7. That's a 1-4 single. Anything else, he grounds it back to Chapman. And that's a grounder back to Chapman, 1 away. Brings up Hank Conger. And he does have some good power numbers in the left-handed number 1 column, I should say. So he will try to get it done. But it's off Chapman. 4-3. It's still going to be a single to right field. So Conger gets it done with a single. He will be pulled for a pinch runner. As you're down by 1 run, you need speed. And they're going to go to Jake Marisnik to pinch run. So Marisnik will pinch run. And if it goes extra innings, they have Castro to catch. But Marisnik is the pinch runner. Now the question is, will he try to steal? And I'm thinking it's Chapman. You almost have to, because you don't know what the other, what your other guys are going to be able to do. So he's an A stealer. Starts as a 15, being held is a 13, and 0 arm for Barnhart. So it's 1-13 for Marisnik to steal second base and get in scoring position. And he does. It's a 3, so it's a possible throwing error on Barnhart, and his T rating for Barnhart. He's a T4. And it's a 1, so it's not only is it a stolen base, but it's a throwing error, E2. So stolen base and an E2, and that's going to put the runner at third base with only 1 out. Marisnik is at third with only 1 out. They're going to bring the infield in. Jose Altuve is coming in. Infield is in all the way. Chapman needs a strikeout. 4-5, and he doesn't get it. It's a single to center field, and that's a tie ball game. So just that quickly, the Astros have tied it at 5, and now they're looking to possibly win it. If Altuve, a double-A stealer, is a 17. -2 for being held to 15, 0 arm, so 1-15, he will steal second. And he does. Stolen base for Altuve. And now the winning run is in scoring position for George Springer. And I believe they're going to walk Springer intentionally with first base open, set up a double play with the left-handed hitting Colby Rasmus. Chapman now struggling. 3-10. 3-10 is a single to right field. Will that be enough to get the run home? Right fielder Jay Bruce, his arm is a -4. So I think with 1 out, they're going to hold Altuve because he was being held, which makes him a 16. -4 is a 12. So with only 1 out, they are going to hold him to load the bases, and that's Chapman's now tired. So Chapman is tired. Do you leave him in there as a tired pitcher, or you take a chance that he can get somebody out facing Evan Gattis? I think they're going to have to pull Chapman because he just didn't have it. They set him up for the save and it just couldn't get it done. So he will have to leave, and they will bring in a right-hander by the name of Burke Badenhop, I should say. Burke Badenhop, 2-4, 3.93 ERA. So he will come in and try to send this thing to extra innings if possible. Chapman goes a third of an inning facing 4 batters, and he's subject to take the loss, believe it or not. Badenhop injury check. Badenhop would be a 6-12 again. And now Evan Gattis is up with the bases loaded. Only 1 out. Infield has to come in. You can't assume they're going to turn a double play. They're going to come in, or do they? You know what? I think with a slow running Gattis, they're going to play back for a double play. They are playing for the double play. 3-8. Single to right. It doesn't matter. The innings, the ball game is over. Had we left Chapman in there, it would have been a potential sac fly, but this is a single off of Badenhop, and the ball game is over. The Astros come back with 2 in the 9th to win it by the score of 6-5. Don't know if the trash cans were rattling or not, but Reds fans are certainly disappointed as they thought they had that one in the bag. But I think it's one of my first walk-off wins in this replay. But the Astros get 2 in the 9th. And it was all started by that stolen base by Marisnik with a throwing error on Barnhart that put him at third, forced the infield to come in. Altuve got the single, stole the base, and they just couldn't get anybody out. So Badenhop didn't get anybody out, faced 1 batter. Tabby is wailing, so I'm going to try to finish this up pretty quick because she's going to make noise. Hits for the Reds: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits for Cincinnati unofficially. And for the Astros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 unofficially. So that's what I have unofficially for the Astros. 6 runs, 13 hits, no errors. And for the Reds, 5 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. Losing pitcher was Aroldis Chapman. He's 0-1. Winning pitcher was Chad Qualls. He's 1-0. So the Astros now improved to 3-1. Cincinnati drops to 1-3. And the Astros have now tied Boston with a 3-1 record. So tough one for the Reds. They had it in their grasp, but Aroldis Chapman was not up to the task to get it done. So that's going to do it from here. Again, hope you are having a Merry Christmas season. I'm not sure when this video is going to post. I imagine this video is going to post after Christmas, probably on the Monday after or so. So it'll be between Christmas and New Year's. So hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. Be safe out there, particularly around New Year's time. Want everybody back to enjoy the hobby for 2022. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.